Gonna build a mountain from a little hill.
Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is the Lady Designer, and today we are back with a new speed build video of Pond Zoo. Even though I just said in one of my city zoo videos, I wasn't really sure where to add all these new wetlands animal pack animals. I just had no idea what animals I should be adding in Pond Zoo unless it was like a building or something like that. And well, all of a sudden, I just really felt like I had to add the Asian small-clawed otter in the aquatic dome that we have going on at this point in our Pond Zoo. So that is what we're going to do today. This also really feels like the start of the more tropical part of the dome, which is definitely going to give some really nice variation to the whole area, in my opinion. And we still have so much space in this dome to work with. So I do think it's definitely going to be fun to see this whole dome being filled up with all kinds of aquatic animals, and not only like the colder climate animals, but also some more tropical animals. So we started off with making a tunnel from the underwater viewing area of the gray seals to the other side of the dome, so I could get an idea of where I wanted their underwater viewing gallery or tunnel to be. But at this point, I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to go for like another underwater tunnel or not. I think we already have an underwater tunnel for the king penguins, but even though I really wanted to have another tunnel in this dome, I just really didn't feel like I had enough space to build another underwater tunnel. So it's going to be an underwater viewing gallery instead of an underwater tunnel. And then on the right side of the habitat, like in between this otter habitat and the California sea lion show area, there will be like the stairs going down, which should also like function as one of the two entrance areas for the underwater viewing gallery's floor, or whatever we should call it. Because as you can maybe remember, we now have like an underwater viewing gallery inside of this dome for the king penguin, the gray seals, and for the polar bears on one side of the dome. And now it's time to add some more tropical animals to the other side of the dome, which will all also be getting an underwater viewing gallery if we have some space for them. Like the only animal that does not have this underwater viewing gallery is the California sea lion, as they have their show area inside of this dome, but they do have a big underwater viewing gallery on the outside of the dome. So in case you miss all these episodes that I'm talking about right now, I would highly recommend you all to watch all these videos of Pond Zoo. They're all in a playlist on the channel. It was just so much fun to build these habitats for these animals. So yeah, if you're interested, highly recommend you to watch all of these videos. So anyways, back to this small clawed otter habitat, because before I really started decorating the area, I had to make sure like the path and the glass were all in place so I could simply work around them and make everything just look nice and pretty in the end. So I first thought to just maybe have some like rocky fences around the path looking into the habitat, but soon after I just realized that this wasn't really like the idea that I wanted to go for. It's a little bit too simple. Like I do sometimes use these rocks as fences, but for this case I was like, no, I'm just going to change this. So then I decided to create like one wall coming from the underwater viewing gallery all the way up to the upper layer. So this would function as one complete wall for both levels, and then I will be able to duplicate like this one wall to all these glass fences to make it all a lot easier, I guess. So this wall is going to be like a combination of some bamboo and some Asian wood, as I want to go for a more tropical look for this habitat. I felt like this would fit the best. So once this wall was completed, I duplicated this around to the other glass fences. So everything was nicely closed off, and I did fill up like the little gaps and things around there, as the path of the upper layer is not exactly on top of the other. Even though I do have to give myself some credits here, it was actually pretty decent. I didn't have to correct that much, to be honest. So after this area was kind of completed, I started working on the other side of the underwater viewing gallery where the guests will be standing and watch the otters when they are swimming. I don't know if you can remember like the underwater viewing we did for the polar bears in the zoo, but we played around here with like the aquatic rocks and like a bench and an educational sign more implemented into the rocks to make it all look a little bit more interesting. And I really just wanted to do the same here for this otter underwater viewing, but obviously we're going to change this a little bit to a more tropical vibe in a later stage of this video. So I simply just duplicated like the part of the rocky walls from the polar bears and integrated them here at this underwater viewing gallery. Like it is a little bit smaller here, so I had to tweak some rocks here and there to make it all fit and to still be able to have some space for like the bins in between. Like in the cinematic shots, you will see the new billboard pictures that I made and that I added here in this area as well. And as always, you are able to download these billboards from my Discord server if you like to use them for your own zoos. You can find plenty of other billboards and also webcam footage here in my Discord for you all to use in your own zoos if you like to. Also, talking about billboards, there are also some aquarium billboards in my Discord server for you all to download if you want to. As some of you may have seen, we are also playing a game on the channel called Behind Glass Aquarium Simulator. This is a super relaxing and beautiful aquarium game where you can create your own saltwater and freshwater aquariums. So if you like to, you can also download these aquarium billboards that I'm creating on the channel. And over time, I will be adding more billboards there because eventually I also want to use them myself in Planet Zoo to create some kind of aquarium build. But I also do think that we do have some space here in this aquatic dome of Ponte Zoo to start using them in some areas, as these areas are probably going to be too small to build like a habitat in. I think that these aquarium billboards are going to be perfect fillers for that. So yeah, if you're looking for some aquarium billboards, you can find them in my Discord server, or if you want to build them yourself and get the game and see what you can do with this game, I highly recommend you to watch those videos on the channel. Like, I will make sure to put a link to the playlist of all the videos of Behind Glass Aquarium Simulator in the description of this video, together with like a link to my Discord server if you want to download any of these aquarium billboards or the Planet Zoo billboards, whatever you want to do, you can all find it. And I'll also make sure to add like the playlist of Ponte Zoo so you can also find all these videos very easily. But okay, right, back to the otter build, because when all the rocks were in place at the underwater viewing gallery, I wanted to add some roots and stuff to make it all look a little bit more tropical. And adding these roots together with later some of the purple and green plants absolutely makes such a difference for the vibe of this area. I really do like it, how this area has turned out in the end. So when the underwater viewing gallery was finished, it was also time to work on the upper layer of the habitat, obviously. As there really wasn't that much space to work with, I really had to make sure to measure everything out as good as possible. So as always, I did use like these 4-meter wide walls for the space for them to swim in, and also using some flat roof pieces to draw out where the height of the water was going to be. This makes things a lot easier when you're building a habitat, in my opinion. Now, I didn't really have a plan for this habitat, to be honest, like nothing more than that I wanted it to be like a tropical underwater viewing gallery and something tropical on the top. So most of the things that I'm building just pop up in my head during the actual build myself. Like on the left side, I had to add the keeper's gate, as there just is no other area simply where I could connect this gate to the habitat. It just had to be on the left side. Now, since the terrain had to be a little bit lower in order for the animals to reach the water, I had to play around a little bit with like this little staircase of the aquatic pack rock set, and I do really enjoy using that. So and it all works, and we have space for that, so that all is working pretty well. Now, I actually did want to make like this little cave area on the left top side with like that little doorway that also comes with the aquatic rock set. Like the prairie dogs and the meerkats are also able able to just walk through there. Hopefully you guys know which one I mean. But unfortunately, it turns out that the small clawed otter has like this horrible traversable area, which makes it pretty hard to make a small habitat for them. Like, I'm actually a little bit surprised that this is the case. It kind of feels like Frontier just took the traversable area of like a bigger animal and just did not change it for this small clawed otter. Like, I really do hope Frontier will change this as soon as possible with an update, as it really ruins the fun a little bit to make a habitat for these super cute animals. So yeah, I did have to change the plans a little bit here and really work around this traversable area, unfortunately. So this little upper layer will now just be a little area for them to chill with some hay beddings and play with a little bubble machine, which they absolutely love. So I guess it's not that bad. I will put like a cinematic shot later on with the otters and the bubble machine. It's just so freaking adorable. So on the right side of the habitat, I really wanted to add like a waterfall, like not super prominent in the habitat or like not super prominent in the middle, but still on the edge of this habitat, which should function as a little play area maybe for the otters as well, since I can imagine that they may enjoy the splashing water in their habitat of a waterfall. So that is a little bit of the idea behind adding this waterfall for the otters. Now we still wanted to make this like a very tropical habitat, but if you look at the space that I have right now, it actually is a lot smaller than I was hoping it would be. So it definitely is going to be a really tight squeeze in here to make it all work. So I first started drawing out where I wanted some green to be with like some mulch, and then I realized we also have like these background drops that I think also came with like the aquatic pack. So to make this habitat look a bit more tropical with like these, I think they're called mural walls or something, definitely come in handy. And since we are also using like these snow or icy mural walls for like the king penguins, and I think we also did use it for the polar bears in this dome, it actually is a very nice idea to also use the tropical mural walls in this habitat, since it kind of matches with the style we are going for in this zoo, I guess. So as we are inside of this dome, we can obviously regulate the temperatures better in their habitat. We pretend so, of course. And so this is probably the best excuse to actually use the trees and bushes of what like the Asian small-clawed otter really likes. So I just selected all their biomes and their preferences, and that you only I think pretty much only use like the plants and trees that they really would like in their natural biome, like including some bamboo and some palms and stuff. You can really create this really nice tropical vibe for them. Now, one thing I wasn't really happy about was like the space left still in between the green and the water. This was all like covered with the aquatic rocks, and it just didn't feel right to me. So I later removed the water, so I was able to raise the terrain here and make it all look a little bit more natural with some normal terrain instead, which definitely makes it a lot better. This definitely, yeah, it really was a thing for me. I really wasn't happy with all these aquatic rocks, so just raising the terrain a little bit here, make it all look a little bit more natural and some more green and grassy. Yeah, it definitely looks a lot better in my opinion. So on the right side of the habitat, right behind the waterfall, I did make like this little cave area for the otters, so they have a little bit more privacy if they want to take some rest or something like that. And the rest of the habitat build is just me placing down a lot of the aquatic rocks, some underwater plants for the underwater viewing area, and including of course some bubble VFXs and like the new submarine toy. I absolutely love that toy the more I use it. Now we do also add some more roots here and there throughout the habitat for the extra tropical effect, together with like these purple and green plants to make it all feel a little bit more overgrown here and there, if that makes any sense. So yeah, overall pretty nice habitat for these incredibly cute animals. Like, even though I do still feel it's maybe a little bit too tiny and I'm a little bit frustrated about their traversable area, they seem to be very happy and excited with their water area. So I guess we should be very satisfied with this new build for them in our pond zoo. Now, obviously, I am very curious and excited to hear your opinion about this new habitat in pond zoo as well. So do let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed, and if this video inspires you for your own builds, do let me know as well. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And if you want to see more Planet Zoo videos, I definitely have you covered on the channel. Yeah, I just really do hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!